Tintin XL 92.5 FM.
All right, welcome in. Brian's along for the ride here. Good to be back in the studio after days in Atlanta.
Were you on an airplane today?
I was on an airplane.
Wow, that's cool.
I was leaving on a jet plane.
Yeah.
All my bags were packed. I was ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll stop.
Did you watch a movie on the flight?
I did not. It was about a 40-minute flight.
Yeah,
kind of up and down. That wasn't even time for a Big Bang Theory episode. That's not all I got. How was Boston? How was vacay?
It was great. We had a great time. Saw Red Sox win 1-0. It was a great game. Really well played on both sides. Like it was the Red Sox beat the Rays 1-0. And it was awesome just being in that environment. And like I said, really well played game. Very quick game. It was only about 2 hours and 20 minutes. And but what a environment Fenway is. And
I told you, if you haven't seen baseball at Fenway, you haven't really seen baseball.
Yeah. It was unbelievable. So we had a great time and love that city. I've really gained a lot of appreciation for Boston, having gone there now twice in the last year, because I'd never been previously. Because when the Jaguars play the Patriots, you don't go into Boston. You fly into Providence, and then you know obviously the game's in Foxborough.
Right.
So I had never seen Boston until last year. And now, doing two trips in that short amount of time to really be able to do the Freedom Trail. And this time we kind of did our own walking around. But, I mean, just what a gorgeous city. It's way more compact than you would think. Like, you can walk Boston.
It's a great place.
In just a couple of, hours.
You realize, particularly that whole Common Freedom Trail, that one area.
Yeah.
You realize the stuff you need to see.
Right.
Even all the way to the harbor and Faneuil Hall.
Yeah.
You can walk all that together.
It's awesome. So, anyway, we had a great time. Missed you guys. Glad to be back, and I'm ready for football.
Yeah, tip of the cap to Matt Hayes and Jacob Simons, who did such good work. We had such fun at the SEC Media Days. Today will be Lee Smith's going to be in here to talk about the British Open because it is the Open Championship at 4:20.
What a day of golf today.
Great golf. But it's been really, the rest of the day will be our wrapping up a trip to the SEC. You're going to hear from Sam Pittman. If you didn't hear him live on primetime, he's as good as ever. And so you haven't heard him on our show yet. So you're going to hear from Sam Pittman today on the program. Greg Sankey today at 5 o'clock. We did it live on Helmets and Heels, but our listeners on this program haven't heard that yet. So that'll be at 5 o'clock today on the program. Caleb Banks, the defensive tackle from Florida. We have not yet heard from him. He'll be at the bottom of the hour. But so we'll wrap up some thoughts from the SEC Media Days and a very, very busy interesting media, very interesting SEC Media Days. Is interesting for reasons I've already shared with you. As interesting as I can remember in a while.
Yeah, and Caleb Banks might be the most, when you talk about importance to the team, he might be one of the most underrated players in the SEC. I mean, they cannot lose Caleb Banks. It's Lagway one, and I'd put Banks over Slaughter. It's close.
It's the one spot where they're not deep. You wouldn't want to lose Jake Slaughter, but you'd put Rod Kearney in there, the former Orange Park player, and you'd be fine because he's a good backup. Mm-hmm. You've got backups everywhere else. That's the one spot where you don't have a lot of guys. You have plenty of edges, but you don't have a lot of tackles. But we'll certainly kind of get to some of that today.
What was the vibe being there?
The overall, I'm telling you, it's a different SEC Media Days than I've ever seen. And I will tell you, the people that not take the beating, but there are so many media, and this is probably inside the business stuff, but there are so many media outlets now. Sirius has their own room now. ESPN's got about 4 rooms now, the U and 2. SEC Network's got their own room now. On 3, everybody wants to talk to the recruiting people 24/7. So there's so much. The challenge is for the radio people. And this isn't a poor, pitiful me. I'm just telling you, the challenge is, it's harder than ever. I would say, I wasn't there today. I flew out this morning, and Jacob and Matt were driving back individually today. So I saw 12 of the 16 teams. Okay, I didn't see all 16. Arkansas, Sam came and joined Matt as he always does. Eli Drinkwitz was going to join Matt, ran out of time at the end. So Mark Stoops, who's a friend of mine, would have been by. So we didn't see that. But of the 12 coaches that I was there for, I think 3 went to Radio Row.
Wow.
There's just so much. And in fairness to them, that's the one thing that's not mandatory. All those other rooms are mandatory.
Right.
And so Billy came because of us. We're the only one he did. Kirby Smart did us, Atlanta, and Birmingham. We're the only ones he did. Brian Kelly did Baton Rouge and us because he and Matt have a great relationship. The only ones he did. Arkansas wasn't there for it today. Heupel was going to do us. he was coming by. Matt got really sick. He's very close to Matt, and Bill Martin, the SID, there's very close to Matt. And Matt Hayes is a warrior, man, but he was really sick Tuesday. I mean, I made him go home. So I mean, I told him, go back to the hotel. You got to go back to the hotel, bro. You can't. It didn't work. It's still a job, So both Sark had sliced off about 7 minutes for Matt, and Matt was going to do him, and Matt set it up that Frank, you go do him. Well, I was doing Kirby at the time. So it was just, but the coaches just don't come up the way they once did. So, but it was a wonderful media day. The SEC does a great job with it, a great job at the podium. It's really good to be there, and it's really good. You get the vibe. To your question, the vibe is nobody knows who's going to win the league. It's one of the, and that was kind of the theme the whole time we were there. It's one of the few times I can remember there's not a team to beat. Now, Texas and Georgia are the two closest to it. And I think there's probably, just talking to all the people, media, coaches, all the folks with whom you visited, that there might be in the minds of some a bit of a gap after them. But boy, it's a small gap if there is one, because they both have questions. They're the two teams people are talking about. But the reality is, Arch Manning, for all the intentions, barely played. Gunnar Stockton, God bless him, what a nice kid. He looks 35. Okay, he's the oldest looking. Gunnar Stockton, who's a really sweetheart of a kid, by the way. He looks like he was going to leave there and go coach his son's Little League team. He looked like he had 3 kids, okay, and the oldest one is now playing Little League, and he was going to go coach him. He looks like an accountant. He looks like an entry-level accountant at the firm is what he did. But he a nice kid, though. But I will tell you, there's a question about Gunnar Stockton. He knows that. We had him on the air, and he talked about that. Kirby knows that. Kirby said we haven't picked a starter. Ryan Puglisi could beat him out. So even though Gunnar Stockton was there, he's not the definitive starter yet. Arch Manning is the definitive starter, but and has the great upside, but hadn't played. And then Garrett Nussmeier is probably the best returning quarterback, and they've got a really good offense, but they haven't been very good on defense for a while now. So there's questions about everybody. Oh, by the way, if you missed it, Nick Saban's gone. I don't know if you heard that or not. So
now,
yeah. So Kalen DeBoer in his second year, Ty Simpson, is he going to be a good quarterback? Do you have any idea? I know he was a 5-star once upon a time, but do you have any gut at all? Nobody does, right? Yeah. John Mateer might be the best quarterback in the league, and Oklahoma might rise from the dust all of a sudden to be good again. So to your question about vibe, it felt like there was as much unknown Hayes as I can ever remember the SEC media days. I really believe that.
And it felt like, from just watching the coverage on SEC Network during Florida's day, it felt like from afar that this is the first time in a while the Gators have had like real, they might be really good kind of buzz. I don't know if it was like that.
There was both. There was, all right, we hear the Gators, we hear Lagway's good, but he completed 50% of his passes and threw 9 interceptions and 12 touchdowns. I want to see it. Then other people say, they got a really good roster. We saw that at the end of the year last year. The question about Florida, like always, I go on a lot of other stations too, just like the guys come on our stations. Part of what you do there is you go on these other stations, and I was asked, is Florida the team that beat LSU and Ole Miss at the end of the year and won a bunch of games and found themselves, that almost beat Tennessee and Georgia? Or are they the team that collapsed and has collapsed early in the year ever since Billy Napier's been there? And my answer was, I don't know. And that seems to be the vibe. I got a hunch they're going to be pretty good, but do they do that thing where they're confident, they feel like they're good, the confident teams are better because they expect to win, the other guy's not as good because they're playing a team they expect to beat them? Can they get there? I don't know. I don't think anybody knows. I'll say this. I told you this before we came on the air. Matt Hayes and I were at dinner last night still talking about this. Billy Napier was pissed. I've never, it's not like I know him well, but I've had him on 10, 15 times now. I mean, it's not, I've interviewed him enough now that I got an idea what to expect.
And he's really never showed an agitated side.
No,
in
never.
public.
And I'm telling you, he's over the schedule stuff. He said it to us. He used the word, he said, because Matt kind of baited him. It was perfect. Matt goes, everyone's talking about your schedule. You tired of it? And Billy couldn't wait to say, he said, I'm over it. And that's when he did the spot the ball. He sent the spot the ball post. It was a quote tweet from the schedule.
Toughest schedule in the country.
Toughest schedule.
Florida.
And he says spot the ball. He's like, he translated it for us. I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing how goddamn tough our schedule is. We're pretty good too. Quit talking about how tough our schedule is. Let's go find out. Now, when you act like that, you better be good. And in fairness, last year, Billy thought they were going to be better at the beginning of the year than they were. He told us that then. But I even said to Matt during the interview, and we'll probably play it again tomorrow. We played it yesterday live, obviously. I had it live. But I even said, I started laughing. I looked at Matt while Billy was there. I said, Billy's bowed up, man. I've never seen Billy bowed up. And he was laughing and nodding that, yes, he was bowed up. They're tired of hearing it. They think they've got a good team. I will tell you this, and we had a lot of time to talk about this. If DJ Lagway starts and finishes every game, I think they're going to have a really good team. I think they will be a playoff contender. If he now again, is he one of these guys that gets hurt a lot? You got to wonder, right? You got to wonder.
Sure.
So if he is, but we got a lot of SEC to talk about again. Let me set the scene for you. Lee Smith's going to be here to talk golf. What a start to the Open Championship.
What a day today. I mean, it has been so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
Royal Portrush. Yeah. I love that venue.
Yeah.
I mean, the dunes are gigantic.
Right.
And just seeing
got a lot of character.
Yeah, the layout of it. And I think it's very fair, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see the bad shots today were bad shots. No one hit a good shot and got, robbed on something, unforeseen or, something that was unfair. I mean, it is playing, if it's, it's like all the commentators. I watched Rahm and Scheffler, their group in the morning, and then I watched the majority of Rory's this afternoon. And the course is playing phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough, but it's fair. Scotty Scheffler continues to just dazzle. I mean, he barely hit a fairway today and shot 3 under 68. It's and you gotta love the British Open because you always got those crafty older guys that just know how to play. And there's Westwood and Mickelson under par.
Ricky Fowler's at 2 under.
He now qualifies. You wouldn't think of Ricky as a crafty older guy.
He's now the old guy.
But he kind of now is. Yes. And so Lucas Glover was up there for a while, the former U.S. Open champ.
Yeah.
So those older guys that know links golf, they're dangerous on a venue like this.
So Lee Smith will be here to talk all about Royal Portrush and how unique and the character that it has. We'll talk a lot and about kind of the momentum that golf has this year, the momentum the tour has, which is significant. So a little golf talk coming up. After that, you're going to hear from Sam Pittman. That comes up at about 4:40 today, or right after Lee comes out of here. After Lee leaves, I want you to hear from Sam Pittman, the Arkansas coach, who's so fun. Matt had him on live today on prime time, so you're going to hear that. Greg Sankey at the top of the hour, the SEC commissioner, he was really good, and he, as he always is, talking about where college football is as it moves forward, the playoffs, where we're headed. I got some thoughts about that too. We'll get to that. That comes up. We're going to have headlines. You're going to hear from Caleb Banks. We are loaded up with SEC stuff. But let's take a break. When we come back, let's kick it off with some golf talk. A terrific first day of the Open Championship. Lee Smith joins us after this. It's 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
It's always truck season at Nimnick Chevrolet. Well, this month, you can save up to 20% off a new Silverado or get financing rates as low as 0%. Now, unlike most dealerships, Nimnick Chevrolet is the largest inventory on the ground, ready for you to explore. And with their extensive selection, you're sure to find your perfect truck at Nimnick. Available now, the all-new Silverado EV with payments starting in the mid-200s. Designed to go the distance, the Silverado EV boasts 440 miles of range, more standard range than any competitor. You get the drill. They've got it, and they've got it waiting for you. And you know, Nimnick will always give you top dollar for your trade. Want an even better deal? Ask about demo models for deeper discounts. The bottom line is this. You head to Nimnick Chevrolet, and you're going to wind up getting a great, great deal. So who's got more new Silverados at the best prices? Nobody but Nimnick.
From the first play ball to the final, your home for play-by-play is 1010XL.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie, and I got to tell you, I can't fix anything. I would be so lost with plumbing problems if not for Duck Duck Rooter. But everybody knows to call the Duck. Well, I do too. Whether it's plumbing, air conditioning, septic, they handle all of it, and nobody does a better job than our friends at Duck Duck Rooter. Any of those needs you have, call them today, 904-862-6769, or go to duckduckrooter.com. If you've got problems, call Duck Duck Rooter. They'll handle it. I guarantee it.
It's Christmas in July at Beard's Diamonds. Why not celebrate your anniversary with a stunning Eternity band or a pair of diamond stud earrings? Buy now and get up to 40% off. Don't miss this annual event. Best prices of the year store-wide. And remember, Beard's Diamonds is your local jeweler with over 4 decades of delivering the best value, the best quality, and the best overall experience. With no commission salespeople, no corporate sales quotas, and no nonsense pricing. Beard's Diamonds at the shops at Town Center. Shop local. Shop Beards.
Hey, this is Coach Jason Gibson of your Jacksonville Sharks. I know the importance of a strong game plan, and that's exactly what I've got with Clay Solar Installation Partners. They did the install of the solar panels at my house, and I couldn't be happier. Lower energy bills, clean power, and a winning team that made the whole process easy. If you're looking to save money and go solar, trust the pros at Clay Solar. Call Karen at Clay Solar today and tell them that Coach Gibson sent you.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
XL Primetime is back weekdays noon to 2, and on Wednesdays, join Dr. George Bari at 1:20 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Make sure you catch Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime Wednesdays at 1:20 on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
At Tucker Equipment Rental in Neptune Beach, you just don't rent quality machines, you rent quality customer service. Hi, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Dave. Tucker Equipment Rental has been supplying Jacksonville with equipment and event rental for over 50 years.
From commercial and homeowner projects, we've got what you need: lifts, dirt equipment, and landscape equipment.
And don't forget about event rentals, from festivals to weddings to backyard barbecues.
Local, knowledgeable, and always ready to help.
Tucker Equipment Rentals.
You need it, we've got it, come see us.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining, also takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9 Tuesday through Saturday, Sunday noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday $2 margaritas, Wednesday $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Brackish Vodka, the spirit of the sportsman and proud partner of the Jaguars, wants to make your flight in and out of Jax a fun one. Stop by Vino Volo in the airport and enjoy 2 signature brackish cocktails. Vino Volo has amazing food and cocktails before your flight. Brackish Vodka is the first clean craft vodka and made right here in Jacksonville, Florida. Brackish Vodka for whatever your sport is. If your sport is flying, your vodka is Brackish, proud partner of the Jaguars.
The playoff-bound Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp are in full swing at the newly renovated VyStar Ballpark. Your home for affordable family fun. Tickets start at just $5. Fireworks after every Friday home game, and kids round the bases after Sunday games. Log on to jackshrimp.com for tickets and details. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable, family, fun.
Hi, folks. Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Ever wonder what to do with leftover paint that you don't want? Here's a few options. Paint can be placed in the regular trash if it's dry. Simply stir in kitty litter to a thick consistency. Then wait a few days with the lid off till it dries. Also, if the paint is good, there's many charities or churches that would love to have it. If you'd like more tips or have a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting. 1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Time now for the tour update with Players Championship Executive Director Lee Smith.
Keep an eye on this one.
Presented by Sunshine Turf, the highest quality artificial turf at affordable prices.
I'm telling you, they do such a good job at Sunshine Turf, whether it's under your playground, whether it's something in your business, your yard. I mean, more and more people are just getting turf in their yard, and they've done this putting green for me that I absolutely love. My wife gives me a hard time because I don't come inside. I just keep putting on it. My goal, Hayes, is to get Lee Smith in that left-handed putting stroke out there. He'll crush it. There's 9 hole. We have a 9-hole course. The course record is 6 on 2 par 2. Everything's a par 2. Okay, so it's an 18's par. The record is 6 under 12. Okay, it's not my. I don't hold it. This will
6 under.
Yeah, this will shock you. I don't hold the record. Okay, okay. But we're gonna get Lee in there. We're gonna get Lee. I think Lee's gonna break the record. I'm gonna drag him over there, get that left-handed putting stroke. But I'm telling you, folks, if have a putting green in your yard, it's not as expensive as you think. It's affordable. The Sunshine Turf guys do a great job, so give them a call if you get a chance to. How you doing, buddy? How are you?
Really good. Really good, yeah.
Hayes had a blast watching it Royal Portrush today, the Open Championship. How about you? Were you as caught up in the course and day one as he was?
Absolutely. There's something about, being able to, whenever you open your eyes for the first time, but at 3, 4, 5 in the morning, you can get up and turn on golf. And obviously watch a great golf course and just seems like they really do a good job of obviously spreading out talent and being able to watch highlights. Hayes, like you said, being able to watch Scheffler really from shot 1 to shot, what do you shoot? Yeah, shot 68. It's it's a beautiful tournament to watch. And it's always so different. I think that's the different viewing that we always see here.
Tell me about Royal Portrush, because and full disclosure, I didn't get a chance to watch much today. I was coming back. We were wrapping up and then flying back from Atlanta. So tell me about what makes it different, what makes it charming. What do you like about Royal Portrush?
Well, I think one thing to think about when it comes to links golf is that's different than what we see every day before even just getting to specifically Portrush, is the whole location, the fairway, whatever it might be. It tends to just be different. It tends to not necessarily be the target. It is the destination. And I say that because, in the U.S., you're trying to knock down every flag with most every club. You're aiming at the middle of every fairway.
Right.
When you play links golf, the humps and bumps, where to land it and where it's going to end up, that you may never even aim at a flag. It just ends up being the destination where the ball's going to end up. And then obviously you play the wind. Watching it today with the amount of difficult tee shots of one of the most difficult tee shots when they talk about a right-hander is a right-handed player on a dog leg left with a wind blowing left to right.
Okay.
When you have a wind coming from your back, blowing across you, is always a very difficult tee shot for a right-hander.
Right. Interesting.
How do these guys, I get they're world-class players and they're stronger than maybe what their physique would indicate, but the ability to advance the ball out of some of this fescue is a player, when you get up to it and you see you've got a bad lie, what kind of goes through your mind in terms of trying to minimize damage?
Yeah, I think one thing that probably makes things a little bit easier is most of the time, not all the time, but in links golf, it's kind of a staggered or a graduated rough situation. So a lot of times, even when you can't see their shoes, it's a lot thinner with the grass or the long fescue than maybe it looks like on TV. But it's really grip and forearm strength that doesn't allow grass to grab the hosel of the club and getting it turned over. I think it was on 17 where they said, Rory's one of the only strong enough players to be able to hold the face open so that grass and the ball just doesn't take off left. It is a strength issue. You talk about them being athletes. It's them being in the rough and becoming an athlete.
I used to think you had to be a golf nut to get up at 2 a.m. and watch the Open Championship. I think common sports fan does it now. I mean, maybe not exactly when it starts, but you get. Do you think that? I mean, it's not just golf guy. You agree?
Yeah. Look, I think you talked a little bit about in the opening about golf's momentum. I think the attraction of just a core sports fan and not just a golf fan has given the opportunity to be excited when golf's on. It's not just a nap-taking sport anymore. These are real athletes, and when the best athletes are on TV, people are going to tune in.
I thought today was going to be the hardest day for Rory because he missed the cut here. It's basically his home course. It's about 60 miles away from Hollywood.
Yep.
And so it's basically the equivalent of a Jacksonville kid playing a major in Gainesville. And he missed the cut in 19, and he said it was overwhelming in his media earlier this week, that he just wasn't prepared for how overwhelming it was. Hit his first shot out of bounds that in 19. 1 under today. He got it to 3 under, then bogeyed 3 out of like 4 holes on the back 9, got a birdie on 17 to kind of get some momentum back going into tomorrow. But at 1 under, didn't have the round of a Scheffler or guys like that. But I think now that he's gotten that out of the way today, I think he's got a chance to really hit the gas. How do you assess where Rory McIlroy is right now at 1 under par?
Yeah, I'll be interested to hear what his post-round comments are, because the competitor in him probably will sit in front of a microphone and say it could have been a lot better, could have been 3, 4, 5 under. But I got to believe, as he held that 2-iron, hitting that first tee shot, that he probably would have taken 1 under and not even played. I think it just looked like there was relief when that tee shot off of number 1 just ended up in the left rough. And ultimately shooting 1 under, being 3 or 4 back, however it ends up with the afternoon play. I think he's got to be really pleased with where he is. His game is relatively sharp now. Even last year, I think he made 8 on the first hole, but shot 65 or 66 in that second round. So being the course record holder, I think he's got to feel comfortable. Let's get that first one out of the way, and now I can actually go play like a competitor and not feel like it's a home track or pressure like that. I gotta like where Rory is.
Harris English played well today. He's a Jag fan, so we certainly are. We love our Jag fans on tour. Tell me about him. How good a player is he? He's kind of come and gone some. It's kind of cool to see him among the leaders.
Yeah, I think Harris English is one of those that is a big event, big track, tough golf course type of player. He's very even keeled, very smooth. Nothing rattles him out on the golf course, and he's got all the shots and can really roll it on the greens. I think today I was really impressed with his speed on the greens, which is one of those things that's kind of maybe underappreciated in links golf, is you're going to have a lot of putts either from off the green or even on the green that's 30, 40, 50, 60 feet, upper ridge, double breaker, those types of things. And I mean, he lagging those up to 3, 2, and 1 foot. Those are really important for you in links golf. And he really did that well today.
Scheffler really didn't drive the ball well. I think he only hit 3 fairways, still shoots a 68, and kind of changed at least how I viewed him a little bit today. It's just 1 round, but I've just sort of been under the impression he's not all that well suited to the British Open, but he's got a chance to really dispel that. And if he wins this tournament, he'll only have the U.S. Open left for the career Grand Slam.
Yeah, look, in another thing in links golf, I think hitting fairways is a little misleading. How many fairways was he? A pace, 2 paces, 3 paces, 10 feet off in the, you get a lot of those bobbles, that rolls right into the first cut, and sometimes can be an advantage that you don't spin it out of there, and you can actually land a ball on the middle of the green and run it to a back hole location, as opposed to fly it all the way to a back hole location. So sometimes that can be misleading. And Scotty's so good. I think his record is probably misleading in the British Open. I can't imagine, somebody like a Bryson who hits every shot as hard as he can and as high as he can. It feels like maybe his game is not as suited for that. But somebody like Scotty that shapes it right to left, left to right, high, low. I just feel like his game is suited for that type of golf. He just hasn't played very well over there.
Been a great year for golf. I mean, like really good. Is that because that's where we are moving forward? I mean, it's not been a great year because there've been all these dramatic finishes that you might not have next year. You know what I mean, Lee? It's been a great year. I'm gonna hate to see. Usually, I like seeing the golf season end because that means football season's here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hate seeing the golf season end.
Yeah, for us, obviously, as PGA Tour employees, it really has been a great year for the PGA Tour. I think you start with the fact that the stars have shined.
Right.
Scotty's won multiple times, Rory's won multiple times. The signature events have seen a high level of engagement. The players, when it comes to decision making, the players are aligned with the PGA Tour and have ownership in the league. So a lot of the decision making is on their behalf. That doesn't happen in other sports. There's owners and labor and that type of thing in other sports. So the players being aligned, fan engagement, has been off the charts with overall ratings being up double digits. Betting handle is up. So the fans are engaged. And then lastly, our partners are, you've seen, I think since December to now, there's been like $800 million of renewals of title sponsors and official marketing partners. So the partners are engaged, and I think there's more announcements to come in the next 5 or 6 weeks through the Tour Championship. So, and then you add Brian Rolapp from the NFL as the CEO coming on and having a new vision, as he gets his feet on the ground and learns about our sport and things that can translate. I think the PGA Tour momentum is at an all-time high, and look forward. I'm with you. I wish the regular season wasn't ending. But it's got to end in order for us to have the Players Championship next year. So
that's right.
I'm certainly looking forward to March.
Again.
Yeah.
The other thing that I think is really charming about the British Open, Augusta has this too, where the crafty older guy still has a chance. Now, in the Masters, it's because of the knowledge of the course. But at the British Open, I guess because of the style of links golf, it tends to lend itself. Lee Westwood, Phil Mickelson, Lucas Glover playing well today, guys that, obviously, are well beyond the prime of their career. Is there anything you can put your finger on as to why at the British Open, these guys in their 40s that have seen it all can sometimes, put it together and make a run at this thing?
Yeah, I think it's similar to the Augusta intrigue around their past champions and people that have played that golf course. I think it's knowing how to control your golf ball. And, tends to be the more graduated or mature players are players that can work it right to left, work it left to right, high, low, can play a low cutting tee shot and then can play a high drawing tee shot down the, when you're downwind, those types of things. Know the golf course, maybe played in 2019 where somebody didn't play previously on this particular golf course. I think it's a lot of maturity. It's a lot of knowing how to control your golf ball and understanding that in a lot of ways, 280 in the middle of the fairway is much, much better than 330 on one of those berms in the high rough, whereas a lot of the other golf courses that may not be the case. Being able to hit a wedge out of the rough is not an advantage over a 7-iron out of the fairway, whereas links golf tends to be that way.
Final question, and I always want to ask you a thing or two about the common guy that plays golf can connect with. And I've sort of asked you this before, but for the guy that plays a weekly game, whether he's at a Muni or club, wherever, or more than a weekly game, what is the difference in putting on these greens? Like you've played my course. We keep it at 11 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Munis are maybe a little slower. Yeah. Explain to the people listening, regardless of where they play, how different is it? Is it like on concrete? I mean, explain that to a guy that doesn't, like me, that doesn't understand.
Yeah, it is. It tends to be really, really firm.
Right.
And so most every shot, the closer over here, especially an everyday golfer over here, meaning playing links golf, I think every shot, the closer you can keep the ball to the ground, the better off you're going to be.
Yeah.
And I mean that from you're hitting a 3-wood out of the middle of the fairway and you what we call hit it in the forehead,
right.
And it only gets 5 feet off the ground. That ball here in links golf is going to turn out a lot more positive than that same shot that you either have to carry water or you got to carry a bunker or you got to get it airborne for one reason or another. Links golf, I think it takes bad shots and can make them worse, but somebody that controls their golf ball and keeps it in front of them has an advantage, and then especially around the greens, Frank, a regular player being able to chip with an 8-iron or putt from 50 yards out
right.
is just going to have a tremendous advantage. There's not there's not much give in the turf to where you're sliding a 60-degree wedge underneath. And you'll see a lot of the players like in this tournament that will use putters from around the greens and putting up slopes and all those types of things. It's just the closer you can keep the ball to the ground, the better off.
And then it's so different than what we see on tour, where guys are floating in high and spinning it and backing it up. I mean, you watch a tour event on a hole where it's a short par three, you're close. You're more often than not going to hit it past the hole and back it up, right?
Absolutely.
That's what they
Absolutely.
do. That's what they do.
Yeah, they're not worrying about apex. This
right.
Yeah, not very often.
They're really
not
not.
very
So
often.
interesting. Great work as always, Lee Smith, the executive director of the Players Championship and our golf analyst. We appreciate it, babe. When we come back, let's hear from Sam Pittman, the Arkansas coach. He's a lot of fun. He was with Matt today. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This Open Championship update on 1010XL is teed up by TopDressing.com and 904 Gutters with a Z.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 153rd British Open. With NFL Plus, keep the NFL in reach. Sign up today at plus.nfl.com/radio. Terms and conditions apply. Rory McIlroy was a foot away from finishing the first round with back-to-back birdies, but he opens this hometown Open at Royal Portrush with a number in the red, a 1 under 70. McIlroy just 3 off the lead. It's a far different story from his first round at Portrush in 2019 when he shot 79 and later missed the cut. Still a 5-way tie for the lead. Harris English, Christian Bezuidenhout, Matt Fitzpatrick, Hao Tong Lee, and Jakob Skov Olesen are 4 under. English still on the course. He's at 18, got 45 feet for birdie, a chance to take the lead to himself. Bryson DeChambeau versus Lynx Golf is still a one-sided rivalry. DeChambeau stumbles to a 7 over 78 with 2 double bogeys on the card. I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
I get so many headaches every month.
It could be chronic migraine, 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more.
Botox onabotulinum toxin A prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine. It's not for those who have 14 or fewer headache days a month. Prescription Botox is injected by your doctor. Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, including ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Why wait? Ask your doctor. Visit BotoxChronicMigraine.com or call 1-800-44-BOTOX to learn more.
This is Jennifer Marion at Randy Marion Cadillac. Are you ready to drive away today in luxury? Then you should check out Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville.
Discover our luxurious lineup with over 100 Cadillacs to choose from, including the stunning Cadillac IQ, Lyriq, Optique, and Visti.
And here's something important. The $7,500 tax credit on EV vehicles will be gone in just 90 days.
That's right. Don't miss your chance to save while driving in style.
Visit us at Randy Marion Cadillac.
Plus tax tag Title $9.99 admin fee and resist all on approved credit.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell & Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. With so many messages, we know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. We'll help you find doctors to get you better, and we'll work hard to maximize any recovery. Visit our website and look at our reviews to see how we've helped people just like you make this important decision. Harrell & Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here from my friend and insurance agent, Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
What's happening? It's E.T. for Twin Peaks. And you know Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier are absolute studs in the game right now, right? Well, the third matchup will settle the score once and for all. Witness the UFC action July 19th in one of your favorite, most compelling fight nights in recent history. You heard it right. Catch the UFC pay-per-view fight with Holloway versus Poirier on July 19th. Contact the #1 sports bar in town on Atlantic and Kernan for more info. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views. Come on, somebody.
Who says there's no free lunch? Join me, Prosser, and Jaguar and Gator legend Fred Taylor for free food and football talk Friday, August 8th at the Alhambra Theater. When you hear this...
Bye-bye! Brock Marion still chasing a 90-yard run.
Be caller 28 to win a pair of tickets to a free lunch with Fred. Doors open at 11. Jags talk, Gators talk, football talk, including a 1-hour Q&A with Freddie T, and we're buying your lunch. Stay tuned for this sound to win your tickets.
Bye-bye! Brock Marion still chasing a 90-yard run.
Courtesy of Jenkins Hyundai and Genesis of Jacksonville on Atlantic.
Joe Coward, Matt Hayes, and Leon Searcy are serving up your daily dose of sports talk specials from scratch.
I didn't know you could.
XL Primetime is driven by Duval Ford.
These are delicious.
Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
Hey, Hickett here. Think you got the ugliest garage floor on the First Coast? Your garage a crack-stained hot mess? Hold on to your squeegee. Checkmate Coatings is hunting for the worst garage floor out there. And the winner gets a free garage coating makeover. Whoa! Take 10 seconds. Snap a pic of that garage eyesore. Register at checkmatecoatings.com/contests for a chance to win a free floor coating. It's easy. Just snap a quick pic and enter for a chance to win at checkmatecoatings.com/contest. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
It's hurricane season. Protect your home with 904 Gutters with a Z. That's right. Z as in zone defense for your home. Water damage hits hard. 904 Gutters with a Z hits back harder. Search 904 Gutters with a Z and make the right call.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, buddy. Why so glum?
Stinky ice cubes, Jason. It's all downhill from here.
What?
The tap water in my place smells kind of funky. Funky tap water makes funky ice cubes. I meet a nice girl, invite her back to my place for a cocktail, and blow my whole romantic gesture with a mojito that smells like dog's feet.
Wait, I can totally make you way cooler.
I'm not taking your charity ice cubes, Jason. I have my pride.
Your pride is safe. Our plumbers can be at your house the day you call and install a whole home water purification system. Water tastes better, dishes come out cleaner, even your hair feels better after you shower.
Ooh, the ladies love a man with soft hair, don't they, Jason?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend every day worried about the water in your own home, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
You'll always feel good when you send someone a Kuhn Flowers floral or plant arrangement. This is JJ with 1010XL, and no matter what the reason, Kuhn Flowers has always come through for me. Order online at KuhnFlowers.com.
Are you ready to play this summer? At the First Coast YMCA, we're committed to being your home for health and wellness and a place for friendly competition with team sports for adults and for kids. Basketball, volleyball, pickleball, flag football, soccer. The Y has something for everyone at any age. Discover all the benefits of YMCA membership and find your fun this summer at the Y. Registration for team sports and summer camps is open now. Visit fcymca.org.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
The best pool company around. It has been since 1988. They've built our pool, renovated our pool, and they service our pool. Not just building the new ones. They can build your backyard, screen enclosures if you like it, and they service our pool, and they're the best we've ever had. So if it's a pool issue, Stanley Pools is the answer for you. We've been at the SEC Media Days all week long. Matt Hayes and I had a big time there. Nobody's more fun than the Arkansas coach, Sam Pittman. Matt caught up with him earlier today.
All right, we're here live at SEC Media Days with the Boss Hog, Sam Pittman, head coach of Arkansas. Sam, how you doing?
Doing good, man. How you been? Good.
Doing great, man. Doing great.
Good to see you.
So I don't know if you noticed, but Eli walked into the joint. First guy up, started talking about 30 teams in the playoff.
30. Well, everybody's got their own opinion, you know. I think you know, you'd have to figure out, you know, how to play it.
Right.
But I think, I don't want to speak for him, but I think the gist of it is I think we feel like, you know, because we're playing each other and strength of schedules and all that, that we probably deserve more in
Right.
the playoffs and what our opportunities have been, and maybe that's what he's getting at.
So you got to Arkansas early on. Since 2020, this sport has gone through some crazy with COVID, with the changing playoff, with paying players, with free player movement. It seems like every single year it's another step up and crazy. How do you guys deal with that?
That's hard because it's going to change again. You know, I mean, that's just what it is. Unfortunately, we get a lot of questions about what do we think about 8 or 9? What do we think about the playoffs and all that? And the answer may change 2 or 3 different times,
Right.
But it has taken a lot more of your time away from, you have to add time in your day for football. I mean, you just do, because there's so many things that affect it. Let me give, for example, 10 designated student athletes. Basically what that was trying to do was take your walk-on kids and grandfather them in for a lifetime on this 105.
Right.
With that came a portal opened up July 7th to August 5th. So who do you put on? The guy you don't care if you lose, you don't want to, or the guys that deserve the automatic grandfathering in? And there's so many things that happen all the time that maybe even the outside world doesn't know that it's happened until maybe a couple of weeks after.
Right. All right. We got a couple guys back in Jackson. I'm sure want to ask you some questions, especially about Cam Little, the Jaguars kicker. But I want to ask you this real quick because this is something that I think is on a lot of people's minds. Is you guys don't care about money, what players are making money. It's the free player movement that's the problem. Right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Explain that for everybody.
And the time that they're allowed to do it. To me, for the life of me, I do not understand why we would have an after spring ball portal. I just don't. Isn't spring ball to develop kids for your football team and to know who you have on the team? And then you go after spring ball, and heaven forbid, let's say you lost your 2 quarterbacks and this. Now you got a whole different team, maybe a whole different schematics. I do believe that the kids have an opportunity to move. I can get that maybe one time in their career, and possibly in the month of January where they can get into school and be there through spring ball. But we've had guys that have transferred 3 times within a very short period of time. I don't know that that's good academically for the young man either. So I'm not for it. I'm for opportunities to transfer, but I think right now if we could get it to where the portal would be open once, possibly in early January, where most of the kids could get into school, I think then you'd solve your academic problem and possibly your after spring ball problem.
Right. So one portal opening and 1 transfer, and that's going to be that would be huge.
That would be what I think should happen.
All right, we got Joe C. and Miami Hurricanes Hall of Famer Leon Searcy back in Jacksonville. Fellas, you got a question for Sam Pittman?
We're sitting here listening, Coach, and one thing I wanted to bring up, Sam Pittman of Arkansas is with us on XL Primetime. You have lost more players than any other Division I school to the transfer portal over a 2-year. Is that correct?
You're giving me the stats. We've lost a lot.
That's a hell of a thing, though, is it not?
Number 2, but yeah, it's hard. So what are the reasons? Well, one reason is if they hate the coach, and I don't think that's the case. Mm-hmm. What's the second reason? Possibly I can't play. I don't want to wait around. What's the third reason? Okay, I'm getting more money from somebody else. Right. Arkansas we were not aggressive in NIL. We were not. And so I would be less than half, I would say, somewhere in that area of what other teams that were fighting against in their collective. Now with revenue sharing coming back, we have a chance. If we'll stay within the revenue sharing rules, we have a chance, because when I took the job, we were 4-20 with no NIL. We were top 20 2 years after they 9-4 and Outback Bowl champions. Then NIL came in. We were on the low end. It's like any employee. If you offer them $50,000, somebody offers them $150,000. You can treat them as great as you want. Right. They're gone in a heartbeat. And so that's a little bit what happened to us. I think you'll see that number decrease drastically because now we have the same amount of money as everybody else.
Hey, Coach, it's Leon Searcy here. Hey, Coach.
Leon.
How you doing, Coach? I'm a bit old school. I remember my days back in Miami doing spring ball, how excited I was to see that I made the roster, or first-team roster,
Yeah.
whatever. How difficult it is for coaches now, knowing that if you put a roster together and these players see that they aren't playing, you don't put a roster together because you don't want the guys to get disgruntled and leave on you on the fly.
Leon, that's coming from a player, a guy that knows. You know what I mean? So the bottom line is you have a lot of mix and matches, first and second team guys. That's what you do. Possibly even third team guy moving up to second team, and you have a meeting and go, hey, throw him in with the ones today. I heard he's fishing in the portal. I'm telling you, it's a deal where you have to keep these guys thinking that there's a possibility they can move up the depth chart, because if you don't, they're going to move out. And so you're exactly right. It becomes difficult to set a depth chart, and that's, you don't want to. And then the media gets mad at you because you don't. And then they ask you a question: who's going to start here? Who's going to start there? And you go, oh, well, I don't really know. Well, you do know, but you ain't going to say nothing because guy will go on the portal on you. So you're exactly right.
So it's a weekly deal, even a daily deal.
Daily in spring ball. It's a daily deal. Who do we have? Where are they at? Can we move this guy over here? This guy, get him 10 reps with the ones today, and you're also evaluating, can he do it at the same time? Because you guys know you can look like Tarzan if you're playing against somebody not very good, and then you play somebody pretty good. Hopefully you still look like Tarzan, but you might not. And so you've got to figure that out too. So all those things are beneficial as well on evaluation, but you're making them in a conscious decision that this guy has to believe at some point he can beat the guy in front of him out.
So where are you on the 8 to 9 game schedule thing? I mean, are you okay with the SEC going to 9? Would you rather have 8?
Not really. I'd rather have 8. Obviously, we haven't won the Natty in the last 2 years. But before that, with the 8-game schedule, we were doing pretty good. For us, I think if you go 9, it would be revenue. There'll be a lot of money coming through. For us, we have an opportunity to play Notre Dame. I don't think that we would play Notre Dame if we played 9-game schedule. So you're looking at fan base and you're going, okay, well, which one do they want? Do they want to see Mississippi State? Do they want to see Kentucky? They want to see Georgia? Or would they like us to play Oklahoma State, who we did last year, or would they like us to play Notre Dame? I don't think you can go, and unless the way you can get into playoffs changes. You're adding 9 more losses, so I don't know if you can get that format and get into the playoffs the way that it is right now. I understand there'll be a lot more money into programs. So
all right.
And that drives everything.
Yeah, of course. Before we let you go, we appreciate your time. Let's go to your team real quick.
Yeah.
Nice bounce back year last year.
Thank you.
Looking at this season, you have a really talented quarterback in Taylor Green. Second year under Bob Petrino. If you look at the statistics with Bob Petrino quarterbacks, second year, they just blossom. You excited about that?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You just got me pumped up. Hey, what are you doing on August? I need you pregame. I'll take Leon too. I like him.
Yeah, Leon can, although he does not have a good track record of pumping up teams.
Oh, he doesn't.
No, I think he's like 0-4, including like Hurricanes.
Yeah, I'm 2-5, Coach. You don't need me, Coach. 2-5.
But you got to feel good about where the offense is right now.
The stats say that we'll be much better on offense because of the second year of Bobby and returning our talented, very leadership qualities. Quarterback. We finished 10th last year in total offense, so obviously we think we're better in a lot of our positions, but we have Taylor Green. And with having Taylor Green, we have a chance.
Yeah.
And by the way, Cam Little's a badass kicker too. We love him. He was a captain for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how much our kids respected him.
Yeah, they love him too. Listen, great job. We really appreciate you stopping by and giving us some time.
All right, buddy.
Thank you,
Good
Sam.
to see you.
Good to see you too.
Thanks for the questions, guys.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, fellas.
I got to tell you, and I really believe this, the most successful people in life, and I don't care what walk of life it is, Hayes, the most successful people are the ones that take their craft very seriously without taking themselves very seriously. It may be a cliche, but it's what I believe. He's the epitome of that. I want him to make it. I know he's been on the hot seat, but Sam Pittman taking the time to come by with Matt, Leon jumping in, that is really good stuff. It really, really is.
Yeah, without a doubt. And again, a lot of great thoughts there, insights into the games you sort of have to play with your own roster in terms of your own practice reps, just to keep guys believing that they have a chance to maybe be a starter on your team. And I was always really impressed with Sam Pittman. I covered the Florida game where Arkansas came into the Swamp and beat them a couple years ago. And I went into Pittman's post-game press conference and was really taken back at how much it meant for him, not as a personal achievement, but for Arkansas to get their first ever win in the Swamp and what it meant to the faculty and certainly the players and his staff. I mean, you could tell he was so happy, not for himself, but for what it meant for the Razorbacks to go in and get that win in Gainesville. I didn't realize they'd never won in the Swamp. It makes sense. It's not like they play there all the time.
Right.
But, Arkansas has a great history, and they had never done it until a couple of years ago. But yeah, I agree. He's very genuine, fantastic ambassador for the sport, and hopefully he makes it. It's obviously it's going to be a tough road, but his teams are going to be tough in the trenches. That's his expertise, and Arkansas is going to be able to push people around.
He said a really interesting story that said when you hear someone might be leaving, the next thing you know is you give them reps. You give them reps you ordinarily wouldn't have given them just so they think, wait a minute, I might not leave. I might be able to play here. That's the game you have to play. I can remember this. Tell me if you remember this. The Alabama, the leading rusher was T.J. Yeldon. The backup was Kenyon Drake, two guys who would play in the NFL. And they got all the reps. So much so that the third team back, I don't know if you remember him or not.
Yeah.
The third team back named Derrick Henry was going to transfer. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
That Yeldon and Drake were the two starting, the 1 and 2 backs. They weren't playing Derrick Henry. He was going to leave. Saban found out about that and then played him in the bowl game. He went to, do you remember that?
And he set a record.
And he went nuts in the bowl game. And Saban would say later, the reason they played him is they're afraid they're losing. How'd that work out?
Yeah.
Maybe worked out pretty well.
Pretty well.
Maybe one of the best backs of the last 50 years. You almost lost if you had not played him in a bowl game.
Yeah, you can't have a depth chart.
Right.
I mean, if you're a
That's
coach these days in college, depth chart, I wouldn't even breathe the word.
Kirby Smart said it this week. He said, the days of your backups being other people better than other people's starters, that's over.
Over.
Because your backup leaves. So your backup's not better anymore. So, all right, let's take a break. More SEC talk. Great work from Matt tracking down Sam Pittman. Boy, it's fun to hear Sam Pittman. It really is. I want you to hear from Greg Sankey. Where's college football headed? Nobody is more important to where college football is headed. Nobody means more, and nobody understands it better than the SEC Commissioner, Greg Sankey. He joined Matt Hayes and me live on Helmets and Heels a few days ago. You're going to hear that interview right after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This Open Championship update on 1010XL is teed up by TopDressing.com and 904 Gutters with a Z.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 153rd British Open. First round stretched to just short of sunset at Royal Portrush, close to 10 o'clock local time. 5 players share the lead heading into the second round. Harris English, Matt Fitzpatrick, Christian Bezuidenhout, Hao Tong Lee, and Jakob Skov Olesen all shoot 4 under 67. Fitzpatrick from England, he looks right at home on this type of course, but he doesn't feel that way.
I wouldn't say I particularly enjoy playing links golf. It's just a grind all the time, isn't it? And I like a grind, but sometimes it's a grind with low scoring, and that's what I find difficult. I've shot 400 today, I've holed an eagle putt, I've chipped in, and I still feel like there's a grind out there.
It was a grind for world number 1 Scotty Scheffler. He hit only 3 fairways, but he puts up a 3 under 68, 1 back. And a grind for Rory McIlroy in his home country. Try only 2 fairways hit. Rory with a 1 under 70. He's 3 back. I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. This Saturday is our monthly card show inside Showtime from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Beat the heat this Saturday while looking at sports cards or even Pokemon cards. With nearly 20 tables of vendors this Saturday at Showtime, Sports Cards and Collectibles. Update your collection.
Here's Linda Beaver.
The dog days of summer are here, and so are the hottest deals of the year. Whether you're hauling down the street, cruising on the beach, or just escaping the heat, we have the ride you're looking for and the wow you experience you deserve. Save big on select models with sizzling summer savings, low financing, and limited time bonus cash on all trades. So don't sweat it. Come beat the heat at Beaver Automotive, where the summer deals will wow you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is now offering ortho walk-in appointments. If you have an immediate need for orthopedic care, contact Southeast Orthopedic Specialist immediately. Avoid ERs and urgent care waiting rooms. For more information, go to se-ortho.com.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
To catch more fish, you gotta think like a fish. Captain Kevin and the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show, reeled in by the Pest Pros at Royal Pest Services, and awaken 180 weight loss.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Joe C. for Preferred Roofing, reminding you your roof is more than just felt and shingles. It's a system that not only keeps your home dry, but also impacts your heating and cooling bills. Preferred Roofing and Construction is a GAF Master Elite Roofing Contractor, lauded for having the ability to educate and inform homeowners on their options. Why GAF and Preferred Roofing? They're veteran-owned and operated with ties to Duval for decades. A family business ready to make sure your family has a good roof over its head. Log on, preferredroofingjax.com.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Sun's out. Deals on at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Enjoy summer eats like the Yingling Beer Batter Fish Sandwich, chicken salad lettuce wraps, and wings and tenders combo basket. All for under $14. Add 3 bone-in wings for just $3.49. And sip a peach cocktail or Michelob Ultra. HurricaneWings.com. Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
After I came home from Iraq, I could still hear the booms. Makes it hard to be a good mom.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Naomi Mathis, Air Force veteran.
DAV helps veterans get the benefits they've earned.
Thanks to DAV, I was able to begin to heal.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories great and small.
My victory is being able to be here for my children.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
San Jose Collision in Mandarin is proud to be an I-CARD Gold Class collision repair facility. That means they meet the industry's highest training standards. Experience the difference at San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by TopDressing.com. Jaguars rookie linebacker out of Notre Dame, Jack Kaiser, has officially put pen to paper and signed his rookie contract. Kaiser, the Jaguars' fourth-round selection in this year's draft, was the last of the rookies to sign his deal, meaning as of today, the Jaguars' entire 2025 draft class is officially locked in. After a handful of days off for the All-Star break, the Jumbo Shrimp will return to the Diamond tomorrow night on the road as they begin their 6-game series with the Gwinnett Stripers. Across the Atlantic at Royal Portrush, day one of the Open Championship did not disappoint. World number one Scottie Scheffler is just 2 shots off the lead at 3 under in the clubhouse, and the hometown favorite Rory McIlroy finished 1 under on the day with some struggles on the last few holes. It's 89 degrees at 5:08, time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
We thank our friends from Stanley Pools. They are the best in the business and have been for the longest time. They build pools, they service pools, they redo your whole backyard. Give them a call today. Frank Frangie, Hayes Carline, JJ LaSelva with you. SEC Media Day coverage continues. Nobody understands it more. Nobody is more important to the world of college football than SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey. He joined Matt Hayes and me 2 days ago at the SEC Media Days. Commissioner Greg Sankey is always kind enough to join us. You do such a good job. You go up and down this thing, don't you? I mean, this...
I do, and around actually too. Yeah. So I've made laps from one end to the other. There's a little bit more space, and everything's here. It's a little bit easier to move people around. So it's a neat setup. And you guys have a great view.
This is fantastic.
Turn around and see what's happening on the big stage.
We have loved this. Greg, it seems like the world of college football never stops changing. Is it exhausting? Is it exhilarating? Because we can ask you 10,000 questions about the portal and the playoff and going to 16 and all. But from your standpoint, do you wish it would slow down and there'd be more stability?
The day 3 of media days, it's exhausting. So I'll give you that. It's both at the same time. I've read some historical books. In fact, the quote that we've shared with ADs is, the reality of football is it's an ever-changing game. I mean, that's just over time. And the benefit of having studied a bit of sports history years ago and continuing to have an interest, one of the heartwarming realities is some of these problems have lingered for 100 years. Sometimes they're shoved under the rug. Sometimes they pop out into the dustpan, if you will, but nobody else has figured it out. So it's not like we're running around as, the village idiots because we can't get this done. These have been hard issues.
But you're also a guy.
Well, hang on. Let me turn you on. Sorry, Matty.
I love the fact
Matt couldn't talk.
He loves I can't talk.
Tell me which dial that was.
We shut down Matt.
He loves I can't talk.
It's a yellow dial.
Yes, it is. Matt's on yellow. Now you know.
You can't avoid me, man. Whether you like it or not, you can't. You are also a big history. You're a history buff. You're a music buff. There are people in history, there are people in music that do different things, that go out on the edge, that try to change and push the envelope. You've now become that guy in college sports. Are you comfortable in that role?
That's reality to a certain extent. It's interesting, like you take the college football playoff. I can tell you who came up with the 12-team model. That was me when you're trying to balance, like on the head of the pin, a bunch of different motivations and objectives, and it worked really well for what it was intended to do.
Until the Alliance came in and scuttled it for a year.
Well, that was real. Yeah, I mean, that was introduced in June. Right. We expanded in July, and then you had a year and a half sitting in our hands. We're paying the price for that. That's why you don't do those things.
Right.
That's why you don't just become obstinate to be obstinate. You have to work through problems, and I would just submit that, there may be disagreements now, but I think what's been healthy is the ability to talk through different perspectives, and that can make ideas better. There are plenty of innovators. I think you have to give Brett credit for some of the things he's done with the Big 12, the 4 time zone thing. I'm not that innovative. They've got that in the Big 10 as well. I think that maybe that's a great communication point. It's also a bit of a challenge. What I want us to do is to set a standard of excellence and operate to that, and that's in everything that we do. And that causes people to follow, and that creates innovative opportunities.
Greg, as the subject everyone's talking about is the new playoff, and if we get to 16, by now everybody knows the 4-4, 2-2, 1-3 versus the 5-11. I don't need to go over that because our listeners all know it. Do you have a preference? It seems like your coaches prefer the 5-11 now, which maybe they didn't before. The Big Ten prefers the other. What do you prefer?
Well, let me break it down just a little bit more specifically. So, as I said, I was involved in the design of the 12-team model. That included an allocation of, at the time, half the field for conference champions. The Pac-12 existed. When the Pac-12 changed, one of those was deleted, so now it's the 5 best conference champions. Whether it's 12 or 14 or 16, you're going to have those 5 conference champions. And so there's a bit of a notion about who's come up with 5 this, 5 that. That goes back to the original construct.
Okay.
So that 5 decision's been made. Now, how many more teams are going to be involved? Is it 5 plus 7? Is it 5 plus 9 for 14? Is it 5 plus 11? When we left Destin, our membership said, we think growth to 16 is the right direction. I think that's challenging. So you're asking me personally. I think 12 works. I think last year showed you had 2 teams that had beaten the number 2 team in the country during the regular season, that some growth, 14 or 16, is justifiable. Now, the third component is how do you determine who fills those other spots? And that's where there's divergent opinions. And we've had interest in this automatic bid piece, but really look at it and say we could be sacrificing opportunities. Had we had a 16-team field last year, we would have had 6 participants. You're going to trade 6 for 4. And the answer is, well, we're going to have a play-in, but you're still left with 4, and you have to go through another SEC versus SEC game to access those 4. And that's where things really pivoted for our folks to say, let's look at 16, but let's clarify strength of schedule, let's clarify the selection process, so that we understand how important rigor is and we can design schedules appropriately. And that relates to our 8 and 9 game idea as well.
That's the thing that's getting lost, I think, in all of this, is the 14-16 is not the issue. The issue for you is the strength of schedule. That's the problem, right? That's the key to going to 9 games as a conference. That's the key to expanding the playoff, right?
Yeah,
is how the teams are ranked.
We had you may have done it as a media member, the mock selection process. Yeah. I'd never done it before. And in late April, we went through the process, and there were 4 screens, Team A, B, C, and D. And 2 of those screens were ours. One was Tennessee, and one was Alabama. Tennessee's in, so I didn't look a lot. I knew their schedule. I looked at Alabama, and the visual was striking. So Alabama played 8 of its games against teams 6 and 6 or better. So we'll call those winning records or better. And each of those games is highlighted in green. Now, if you beat Georgia, that's a dark green. That's a really good. If you played a 6 and 6 team and won, that's a light green. And if you lost, it kind of flips. They're being judged against a team from another conference that played only 4 of their games against 6 and 6 or better teams. Well, I can tell you, if you want to lose more games, play better teams. Right? That's reality.
Right, that's right.
And so how are you going to evaluate that reality? How do you compare a 9-3 team? Yep, he's got a couple more losses versus an 11-1 team, but there's a completely different reality of their schedule. And it's not just wins and losses, because you can accumulate that through your schedule. It's the sophisticated analysis of who are you playing, who did they beat, what's the strength of their team. When we're not, basketball has the luxury of 14 non-conference games times 360 teams, and it all intersects. It's much easier than football, where your sample size is smaller. That's why non-conference games are important, and that's why even within a conference, evaluating the rigor of that conference is important.
But how do you get there? That's the question. Well, but what are the metrics that you use?
So that's the question. I've seen an example of a strength of record analysis or enhanced strength of schedule. What I haven't seen is the homework. And how do you get there? What are the components? That's an important question.
Yeah, because...
And by the way, I asked this, so here's the flaw. I don't know how much time we have.
No, you're good.
we had a strength of schedule presentation where if you played Team 1 and Team 130 in FBS, that averages out to 65.5. If you play Team 65 and 66 in strength of schedule, strength of
65.5,
it averages out to 65.5. You know what my problem is? Most years I don't have a team 65 or worse. Last year Mississippi State was below that. So if you didn't play Mississippi State, you had 8 games in conference that couldn't average out between that 1 and 130. Well, others do have that. So if you look at the trends, and I handed this out in Destin, our league has more top 50 teams year in, year out, year over year than anyone else. You then have some of our autonomy conferences whose average team may not start its best team into the 20s. You have Clemson, who's very high in the ACC over the last, I think it was 10-year analysis,
right.
And then it drops precipitously, and then it trails out. Our tail, not trails out, but our tail, our bottom team, is ending up in that 65 to 70. Then when you look at specific years, we'll end up at like 51, 52, depending on who's rating. These aren't my ratings.
Right.
You know, it's Massey, it's ESPN, it's Sagarin, it's people that do this stuff. And there are going to be differences about that, but you start to accumulate the data, and you're like, holy smoke, something's different there. And how is that treated in its evaluation?
Yeah, and the synopsis of this is the 9-3 SEC team is usually better than the 11-1 team in the other conference. You don't want to say it, but I'll say it. That's really what the problem, right?
I'm contractually prohibited from taking that position,
Okay.
but I'm not disagreeing.
Yes,
at all.
I mean that's the reality.
If you play better teams more often,
yeah,
the physicality, using that created term, and the over and over of intensity, you're going to have slips.
Yeah.
By comparison. And if you're playing teams with lesser records or not playing the top of a conference, that was true of a team selected on an at-large basis. Tennessee on strength of schedule in our league was towards the bottom, but they couldn't avoid Georgia. They couldn't avoid Alabama. Right. They played a solid Vanderbilt team. They had others on their schedule. It's not like you can go in my league and just go hide and play the bottom 8. Right. That's not the way it works.
So it seems to me, and I might be wrong, it seems to me like the Big Ten is trying to bull you guys into the 4-1-2-3 or whatever.
I'm not going to pick on you. I thought that was an unfair characterization from the beginning. We ought to be able to generate ideas. And what I've said in response is, you know what, we have an interest in that idea. We're interested in that idea. We're not committed to that idea. And I think you have to establish the basis for why is it 4 and not 5? Why is it 4 and not 3? Why is it 2 for them and not 1?
Right.
Why is it 2 for them and not 3? You have to establish a clear rationale. Otherwise, you're picking numbers, and that gets you in trouble. You also have to recognize the Big Ten will have times when if you were at 16, they would, based on historical information, have more than 4. So it's not just about us. And, you don't have the depth in the other conferences. So you look from Tennessee's championship, 98? So now we're at 27 years. I think we've had 5 different teams in national championships.
Right.
What's happened in other conferences by comparison? So Clemson and Florida State, right?
Michigan and Ohio State.
Texas OU moved.
Texas,
right.
So I think I might be at 7.
You've commandeered them now.
Right.
So Alabama's won, LSU's won, Tennessee's won, Georgia's won, Auburn's won, Florida's won. I'm at 6. Texas has won.
Yeah. They're at 8.
Half my league has won national championships in the last 27 years.
Right. That's right.
I mean, I say these things and people say, well, Sankey's just promoting his league. Okay, I'm promoting my league, but I'm not wrong.
The Big Ten gets USC, so they got 3 now. Okay?
But it's an accurate number. So.
Yeah, no, I respect that. But there's a depth here. It's like our baseball, right?
Yeah.
I thought our baseball season this year was almost exactly like our basketball season, our men's basketball, from like historic performance. And then we didn't perform. And then the naysayers are like, what did they do? Well, we actually did a lot when you go dig in and see what we did head-to-head during non-conference play. And, we play ourselves, and then we play games in the middle of the week, right? That's what everybody does. We're not avoiding things. We played good, but we didn't perform when it mattered. So I don't know why I got on my baseball riff. I went to an all-star game.
But that's why you did. The other issue I want to ask you about is not about play, and I appreciate your underscoring kind of where we are in the expansion of playoffs if we have that. The other thing is the College Sports Commission that is supposed to be a clearinghouse of sorts for NIL spending. Is that going to work? Do you?
Yeah,
do you
certainly can work.
It can.
The people involved in saying, you go back and find the tape from 2-3 years ago, the number of times we need guardrails around NIL. We need guardrails.
Yep,
around
that's right.
That's like the word. We need guardrails. We have guardrails.
Yeah.
Now we have a responsibility to make the guardrails work.
Yeah. Because I think, isn't that the big thing? I mean, the portal is, you're not putting that back in the bottle. It is what it is. I think you guys are going to land in a good place with the expansion from 12 if that happens. In the NIL, the hard one to get your head around?
I think we need to address the transfer issue, not just portal.
That's the biggie.
I don't walk away from. I think we have a responsibility there because I think if one of our principles is tied to the education available on our campuses, the continuity of enrollment is an important piece of actually being educated and graduating. That doesn't mean there are no transfers. We're not going back to the old days.
Right.
I also look at creating a legacy, being part of a community in that educational continuity. And that's being traded for a few pieces of silver, if I could go biblical on you. There's a balance in there. That doesn't mean you just go back to the way it was, but we have to have some common sense standards. We also have to allow teams to have rosters. And I think in football, we don't have a spring portal in the SEC. So if you don't go in January, you're going outside the conference. I think that's created stability. I think that's common sense to say, we want you to go through an academic year at a place. We want you to be part of spring practice preparation. You make your decisions. Hey, if you don't want to be there for spring, go in the portal. You could stay where you are. You could sit out a semester, whatever it is. The notion of having a spring-only portal, to me, just breeds discontent. And there's no way to make up for lost preparatory time in June and July ahead of August that's lost in February, March, April, and for some of us, the first week of May.
All right. We know you got to go. One more thing. We love it here in Atlanta, but quite frankly, Nashville is...
Nashville's good.
Nashville's the place.
Where are we going next year? Do we know?
Nashville's the place.
We don't know.
We don't know. We'll end up back in Nashville. I think Nashville was pleased with us. We were pleased with Nashville. We had a great Broadway concert
It's
on that.
Nashville for crying out loud.
I've been trying on that. It was a 10-year task. That was like a vision around our basketball tournament. And then we got lightning strikes. Had to pull the plug on that.
So we're going to Nashville next year is what you're saying.
I didn't say that. I said we're going to go back to Nashville.
At some point. Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC.
I've played this game before.
I know you have. That's why I was working it.
Thank you for stopping by. We sure appreciate it.
Yep, thanks for the
Greg
conversation.
Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC, does such a fantastic job. Lauren, back to you. He really does. He's another guy that takes all of it seriously without taking himself too seriously. So he's Greg Sankey is the head of the college world right now, no question about it.
And he's a great leader.
Yeah, he really is. Let's take a break. When we come back, we got some headlines. We are squeezing a lot into a little bit of time. That's next. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Sun, fun, and summertime sports talk. 1010 XL. Jacksonville's summer station.
Sun's out, savings out. That's what the summer is all about. Hurry to Kia on Atlantic this month to maximize your fun in the sun. Make no payments for 90 days and drive new Kia starting under $20K. Plus, it's easy to shop for new Kias when you know we have financing rates starting at 0. Take advantage of the sunniest time of year and drive away with the sunshine savings from here. Online at KiaOnAtlantic.com. Kia on Atlantic, your Kia Coastal Connection. For complete details, call 904-250-0587.
One of Beard's Diamond's most popular events ever is back. It's Christmas in July. Right now, for a limited time, you get as much as 40% off anything in our showcases. Yes, that includes engagement rings, fashion rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, pendants, colored gemstones. This is the annual store-wide sale that everyone loves, because you get December prices in July. Up to 40% off store-wide. Don't miss Christmas in July. Exclusively at Beard's Diamond at the St. John's Town Center and online at beardsdiamonds.com. Shop local. Shop Beards.
This is Hayes Carline from my friend Holt at Harold & Harold. There doesn't seem to be enough time in the day to get everything done. Then you get injured in an accident and you don't know what you're going to do.
Let Harrell & Harrell make it easy for you. Easy on becoming a client. You can just text or email if you want. Easy on finding a doctor and getting through the process. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell & Harrell and make it easy on yourself. Call them at 904-251-1111. That's 251-1111.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
If you miss an interview, it'll be waiting for you on demand.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Search where you find podcasts.
And at 1010XL.com.
Trained by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
They were right. It could have waited. I can't believe it happened to me. Reaching to check my phone. Now my family has to hear that I'm never coming home again.
Officer?
I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
Every day, 9 people on Florida roadways don't make it home. I was one of the people that didn't make it home.
Ride with Do Not Disturb. Every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
Vegas, 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 baby.
Vegas, baby. Helmets and Heels is back at Circa Resort and Casino with 2 epic pro football contests, Circa Million and Circa Survivor. Here's the scoop. In Circa Million, pick 5 games against the spread each week for quarterly prizes and a $1 million grand prize for the season winner. Then there's the legendary Circa Survivor. 1 pick a week, no spread. Last one standing wins a guaranteed $15 million. Must enter in Nevada, then play from anywhere. Visit circasports.com for all the details.
Plus, sign up for either contest and score 50% off a 2-night stay at Circa Resort and Casino. You can even join the ultimate football kickoff with Helmets and Heels in Vegas, August 21st and 22nd while you enter. Book your stay at Circa now and chase $21 million in guaranteed prizes. No rake. For full contest details, check out 1010XL.com/Vegas. Vegas, baby.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Football season is almost here, so before it arrives, I'm going to get my home organized. Lauren Brooks here, Closets by Design creates custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms or entertainment centers. Anywhere that needs to be organized. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off with free installation. Yes, that's 40% off plus an additional 15% off during the month of July. Call 878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
If golf is your thing, you'll want to check out the 2025 Hills Pass at Hidden Hills Golf Club. Unlimited golf, including golf car, and preferred tee times for just one low price. Visit us at hiddenhillsgc.com to purchase your Hills Pass today.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank is here. JJ is here. I'm Hayes Carline. Thank you to our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. You'll be in great hands if you do. Frank, we're going to start with the Jaguars. The team signed rookie linebacker Jack Kaiser today, so all 9 draft picks are under contract as camp opens next week.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Usually draft picks do get under contract, so it's not a surprise, but it's good to hear it. Good to know it. Good to know that the train's moving down the tracks. I think Jack Kaiser's going to help the football team win games over the years. I think that was a good draft pick, and I can't wait till next week. I really can't.
The Jaguars will release a new episode of The Hunt tonight, focusing on the strength and conditioning program from this offseason. Looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really is. The Hunt does such a good job. And remember, Baselli found a way to hire a strength coach that just gotten moved out by the Bills, and he beat about 2 or 3 other teams to him. So I can't wait to learn more.
Around the NFL, the Pittsburgh Steelers signed superstar edge TJ Watt to a 3-year, $123 million contract with $108 million guaranteed, the richest contract for a non-QB in league history.
Yeah, he wanted Myles Garrett money. It looks like he got more than that. I'll say this. I don't know if the Steelers are going to be good, average, stink, whatever, but they've done stuff they don't usually do. They are, I think people have gone to Mike Tomlin and the Rooneys and Omar Khan and said, enough's enough. It's great that we have a winning season every year. Haven't won a playoff game in 10 years. All of a sudden, they make a trade that's very uncharacteristic for DK Metcalf. They sign Aaron Rodgers, which is uncharacteristic. An extension like this, they're all in. Whether it works out or not, I'll give them credit. They're going out of character a little bit to try and win when they haven't won in a while.
Yeah, another team going all in is the Washington Commanders. They signed Von Miller today. The 36-year-old Miller had 6 sacks last season in Buffalo.
I think there's something left with him, don't you?
Yeah.
I
mean, good rotational player.
Yeah, for a 30,
he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he's beyond that.
Correct. As 36-year-olds go that are going to play on third down, I think he's better than I'll bet he has a good year for them. They have a good team. Dan Quinn's got an awful good defensive mind. I'll bet he has a good year for them.
A surprising retirement in the NFL today. Chargers receiver Mike Williams calls it a career. The 30-year-old Williams spent time with the Jets and Steelers last season after being released from the Chargers, who, of course, drafted him. Had re-signed with the Chargers to get back over there, but just health-wise doesn't feel like he'll be able to do it. So Mike Williams, at moments, a very good big receiver in the NFL, done at 30.
But no factor for the Jets or the Steelers.
No.
You could tell this was a different guy that used to pair with Keenan Allen and be one of the better duos in the league. It was he made the right decision, I think, because, man, he had become just a guy.
Shamar Stewart still unsigned in Cincinnati, their first-round pick. Boy, that's a peculiar situation.
They both drew a line in the sand. When Shamar popped off earlier, I think it ticked off the Bengals people. And the Bengals are not big spenders. You know that now. And I think the Browns have never spent. And I think they said, okay, you're going to pop off. We have the leverage here. Our season's going on whether you're on the team or not. And I think both sides drew a line in the sand. I really do.
Let's get to the British Open. Scotty Scheffler, a wild day off the tee, only hit 3 fairways, but guts out a 3 under 68. Here comes Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, a lot of names in that. A lot of names on the leaderboard. A lot of people bunched in there together, but that's Scheffler. He's the greatest player in the world, Hayes, because he can do it different ways. He usually drives the ball very straight. Once he went from being a average putter on tour to being a pretty decent putter on tour, he's the best player in the world.
In terms of our Loser Monday bet, it was a pretty solid day all the way around for all 3 of us. JJ's number 1 selection, John Rahm, with a quality 1 under round, as did my selection, Rory McIlroy, playing in the afternoon. Xander Schauffele solid at even, so you're 1 back, but all 3 look like in good shape going into tomorrow to make the cut and advance the week.
I'd be surprised if one of those 3 have those disastrous rounds that I've had this year and you've had past years. I don't see one of those guys shooting 76 and missing the cut. I'd be surprised. Wouldn't you?
I would be
if
very
any of those
surprised.
3 guys
well,
have the ball.
Schauffele has the longest active streak, so he hasn't missed a cut in like 68 events.
Yeah.
And then I would think Rahm and Rory being 1 under, they could probably be 3 over tomorrow,
right,
and still make the cut. I would think the way they were playing today, it was more good than bad for Rahm and McIlroy. Let's get to Major League Baseball. The second half will begin. Any predictions for the second half of the baseball season?
You know, I think the Cubs are for real. JJ, you don't, right? You don't think the Cubs? You think the Cubs are going to fade, don't you?
Yeah, I do. But I've been saying that all season, and they just continue to hit.
Yeah, I think the Cubs.
But yeah, I would be surprised if they make it to like the NLCS.
It was fun seeing the Red Sox go on a run. It would be interesting watching the Blue Jays, who have been underachieving for years. JJ suddenly had a pretty good first half, so that one intrigues me a bit.
Yeah, I expected them to be good a couple years ago, and then they weren't, and so I kind of just like put them out of my memory, and now they're number one in the East. I like the Tigers. If I had to pick a World Series right now, I'd say Tigers, Phillies.
Yeah, hard to argue.
Let's get it to inventions. On this day back in 1902, air conditioning was invented by Willis Carrier. God bless you, Willis Carrier, 123 years ago today.
Okay, when was that? What year? 1902?
1902.
Okay, so when I graduated high school in 76. Well, let me tell you what. Hogan Spring Glen Elementary, Southside Junior High, now Southside Middle, and Inglewood High School never got the memo into the 70s. Can I tell you that? Okay, it's great that Mr. Carrier did it in 02, but I can tell you, 70 years later, there's some schools that never got the memo.
That's awesome.
I never had air conditioning until I got to FJC. This is great. I never knew how great junior college was. Junior college rocks.
That's awesome. We'll get you out on today's musical note. As if the Hall & Oates legal entanglement wasn't enough for us to bear, we now have another dispute. The members of Jane's Addiction are suing frontman Perry Farrell for his onstage altercation with guitarist Dave Navarro last year. The incident caused the band's reunion tour to be canceled, losing a lot of money. This is Been Caught Stealing.
Those angry rock people.
Yeah.
Remember when Glenn Fry and Don Felder almost had it out on the Hotel California tour? Those angry rock people. Well done as always. Back to wrap the program after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell & Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The NASCAR Cup Series will be running the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400 Sunday at the Monster Mile in Dover, Delaware. 400 laps around the concrete 1 mile oval. Denny Hamlin, who won at Dover last season, is the betting favorite to defend his race title at plus 400. Kyle Larson is at plus 490. Ryan Blaney and William Byron both at plus 750. Chase Elliott is plus 1,000. Christopher Bell and Ross Chastain plus 1,200. And Tyler Reddick plus 1,400. 6 races remain before the start of the 10-race playoff, and 12 of the 16 playoff spots have already been claimed. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the GBank Signature Visa Card at vsin.com/GBank. I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Got a clogged drain that just won't quit? It's time to bring in the pros. Duck Duck Rooter.
I called Duck Duck Rooter for a clogged kitchen drain. They showed up fast and had it cleared in no time. No mess, no stress.
We've seen it all. Grease clogs, hairballs, mystery goo from the deep. Whatever's blocking your pipes, we'll get it flowing again. Call 904-862-6769 now to schedule your drain cleaning service. That's 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
Hey, Hickett here. Think you got the ugliest garage floor on the First Coast? Your garage a crack-stained, hot mess? Hold on to your squeegee. Checkmate Coatings is hunting for the worst garage floor out there. And the winner gets a free garage coating makeover. Whoa! Take 10 seconds. Snap a pic of that garage eyesore. Register at checkmatecoatings.com/contests for a chance to win a free floor coating. It's easy. Just snap a quick pic and enter for a chance to win at checkmatecoatings.com/contest. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
From the windswept shores of the UK.
The greatest shot of his life.
Follow the Open Championship on 1010XL.
Look at those scenes coming down the 18.
Teed up by topdressing.com and 904 Gutters with a Z.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I only like to recommend the best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. And now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit their showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss, that's Pella Windows and Doors.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Peter, hot head. Let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak. No.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Are you living with diabetic neuropathy? That pain and numbness in your hands or feet? What about chronic knee or shoulder pain? Maybe you've tried various treatments, but they've been ineffective. Now there's a solution. Dr. Ferdinand Formoso specializes in advanced pain management and offers breakthrough neuromodulation treatments for those conditions. His innovative treatments target the source of your pain, offering relief where medications may fall short. All procedures are performed outpatient with no hospitalization required. Just a chance for you to feel and live better. If you want to learn more, Dr. Formoso is hosting free informational classes where he'll explain the benefits of neuromodulation therapies and how they can help eliminate your pain. Spaces are limited, so call to reserve your spot now with offices on the South Side, West Side, and Jacksonville Beach. Relief is possible with Formoso Spine and Joint Pain Specialists.
Registration is now open for the Circle K Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament. Over $250,000 in cash and prizes available, with payouts up to 20 places. Of course, there's great prizes for lady anglers, and bring along your junior anglers as well. Register today at kingfishtournament.com. Even if you're not on the water, spectators will enjoy fun exhibits, food, kids' activities, and a fireworks display at the Circle K Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 87.
All right, what a day, what a week it's been. SEC Media Days for the most part. Today, though, we started with some golf. Lee Smith, who's such a good golf analyst, did a terrific job talking golf today with us, as he always does. The Open Championship off to a great start. What a fun watch that is. So we'll all be watching bright and early in the morning. You heard from Sam Pittman, one of the most entertaining coaches in college football. He and Matt and Leon jumped in as well. Fun interview with those guys today for sure. And Joe, they did a good job. Greg Sankey, the interview we had with him earlier on Helmets and Heels. You heard it on our program as well today. And then Hayes knocked out headlines. So a lot of fun stuff. Tomorrow, by the way, kind of a staple. Hayes, you and I have talked about this every Friday of media days, we go back and play Kirby Smart and Billy Napier. We go back and play the Georgia coach and the Florida coach, whoever it happened to be. That's kind of how we wrap the week on a Friday at SEC Media Days. We might even play Lagway and Gunner. We'll see, but we'll certainly play those two for you. I want you to also hear from Caleb Banks, who we haven't heard from yet. So, but what a fun week at the SEC Media Days. And when they commence, that means football's on.
Yeah, and tomorrow I guess we'll find out how the media voted, which is always interesting in terms of the order and the all-star team. So it should be interesting. And I think it's going to be an unbelievable year for SEC football. I mean, I think it is, and I do kind of get the feeling that there could be a team outside of Georgia and Texas that really make a run at the whole thing.
Well, that's the thing, is people don't know. I think they're all like this. I think our year in the state. I mean, Carson Beck's at Miami. How's that going to go? If it goes great, they're going to be really good. If it doesn't go well, it could be a disaster. And how does it leave Carson, who a year ago this time was looked at as the first overall pick, not a guy that was coming back, So that's a big story. FSU has a whole new team. This is a team of guys that had never played for FSU before, and now it's a whole new team. Is Mike Norvell
and mouthing off? Yeah,
right, and a confident team. That's right. So how will they be this year? And of course the Florida stuff. Are they really back? Was last year a mirage at the end of the season, or is it an indicator that finally Florida can be an elite teaming? And I asked all the Florida guys, what would it mean? Florida's been down for a while. A once elite program hasn't been elite in a long time. What would it mean to bring them back? And they all got a look on their face. All three guys, Slaughter, Banks, and DJ. They all got that look on their face, Hayes. They really did, like, wow. To be the ones. Caleb Banks is really funny. He says, yeah, way down the road to my wedding. I say, see that fat guy in the wedding with me? He was part of that too. So it's gonna be a really entertaining season in college football overall.
Yeah, and I'll certainly look forward to hearing those interviews tomorrow. And it's here. I'm thankful for it. And and again, a week from right now, we will be breaking down the opening of Jaguars training camp.
Yeah. Hey, JJ, next week's the ACC. Joe will be there.
Yep.
What's your gut on?
Well, first of all, we need to see if Belichick brings his girl. I mean, honestly, that's all I care about at the ACC meetings.
Well said.
I'm really
does
pumped
Jordan,
to find
whatever
out.
her name is, show up. You're right. I buried the lead there. Good call. But apart from that very important news, is it Clemson and everybody else? Is Miami respected too? What do you think?
Oh, yeah. I think that Miami, although never won an ACC title, I think they have to be mentioned when you talk about Clemson too.
Yeah.
Just because they got a lot of talent coming back on the O-line. Like, they have a quarterback who's been around forever, it seems like. They have 10 wins last year. Like, they have to be mentioned.
Hayes, is it Clemson, Miami, Louisville maybe? Is that the order?
Yes, I was going to say, it feels to me that it's Clemson, a little bit of a gap, Miami, and then a little bit of a gap to everybody else.
Maybe SMU.
And
that's right.
And that's right. I forgot about SMU, who's got Rhett Lashley and who certainly had a special year last year. But I
just can't. I mean, I'm sorry.
They're SMU.
I just can't buy into them.
Same way.
Now that everybody knows that they're formidable, I just can't buy into them.
They had a really easy regular season last year.
Louisville's interesting because now
That's who I'd pick to be the third
They're
team.
on the radar. Everyone knows how good Braum is. Everyone knows he's as good a quarterback coach as is in the country, right? I have no idea who his quarterback is, by the way, but everyone knows that he's really good. And so, but it will be interesting. And by the way, girlfriend notwithstanding, well played, JJ. But I am interested in the whole Belichick thing.
Their schedule is very easy.
I mean, Bill Belichick showing up at ACC Media. Bill Belichick is going to be at ACC Media Days. What are we doing?
I don't know.
I mean, and think about that for a second. Bill Belichick's walking. Where is it? In Charlotte? Charlotte, I guess, right? Bill Belichick's walking into the Charlotte Marriott to talk about whether or not they can beat Wake Forest. What world are we in?
A strange one.
We're on to Cincinnati.
Yeah. I mean, have you thought about that?
We're on to NC State.
I mean, really. I mean, it's just kind of a crazy thought. So it'll be fun to see.
They play Monday night of week one. TCU, North Carolina.
Yes, they do.
I'll be watching.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they do. Let's say hello to RJ.
Now, the 2-minute drill on 1010XL.
That's a sweet shirt.
Thank you.
Are you going out afterwards?
No.
You are, aren't you?
No.
You're running the streets. Tell me the truth.
No.
Don't lie to me. Don't lie to Jacksonville.
No. Okay. The only thing I've ever said is blame Michelle. Michelle told me to dress nicer.
Don't you like that? I mean,
I do.
Do
There was an intern today with the exact same shirt on.
You didn't have to say that information out there, JJ. I wanted to be the only one with the shirt
on.
But now he has to ice me out.
I think he's running. I think he's lying. I think he's running. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. What's coming up tonight? What are we doing?
Well, tonight I'm going to be talking with Matt Hayes. He was there with you at SEC Media Days. Just want to get kind of his main takeaways from SEC Media Days. And, the Orlando Magic, they had a great offseason. I'm not trying to hype myself up, but could this be a team we see in the NBA Finals next year? And I kind of want to give thoughts and opinions on that. We'll have just a lot of great conversation on that, the Jaguars. So going to be a fun show for the next 2 hours.
All right. RJ Saunders Day is coming up in just a bit. That'll do it for our program tomorrow, our last day to wrap up coverage from the SEC Media Days. Again, you will hear from Billy Napier again, Kirby Smart, DJ Lagway, Gunnar Stockton. We'll kind of wrap it up as sort of a staple of how we end Media Days. That is tomorrow. Camp right around the corner, bro. Won't be long now. Folks, that's our program. Don't go anywhere. RJ's next. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.